The sun was dipping low over the horizon, casting long shadows across the empty stretch of highway. The roar of engines had faded, leaving only the whisper of wind and the hum of asphalt under tires. But in the parking lot by the old gas station, the unmistakable growl of a Dodge Charger six-pack broke the silence. Its metallic orange paint glistened in the fading sunlight, and the wide stance gave it an aggressive, purposeful look. Every detail screamed performance, from the bulging hood scoop to the sleek lines that ran from front to back. Jake leaned against the driver's side door, key in hand, a grin spreading across his face. This wasn't just a car, it was a machine that demanded respect. The six-pack setup, 3 two-barrel carburetors perched atop the big block V8, promised raw power, a visceral connection between man and metal. When he turned the key, the engine growled deep and throaty, vibrating through the frame and into his chest. He could feel it in his fingertips, the energy just waiting to be unleashed. Sliding into the bucket seat, he adjusted the mirrors and gripped the leather-wrapped steering wheel. The interior smelled of worn vinyl and gasoline, a scent that somehow felt like freedom. He shifted into first gear, and the car responded immediately, the clutch biting and the transmission smooth but solid, built to handle the fury waiting under the hood. The highway stretched ahead, empty except for the distant silhouettes of trucks and the occasional car. Jake released the brakes slowly, letting the Charger roll forward. The engine rumbled, low and threatening, and as he pressed the accelerator, the rear tires gripped the asphalt, sending the car surging forward with a force that almost pinned him back in the seat. The six-pack wasn't subtle. It didn't need to be. Every gear change, every rev of the engine was a reminder that this was muscle in its purest form. As he cruised past the empty fields, the city skyline glinting far in the distance, Jake couldn't help but feel alive. The Charger's suspension was tight but forgiving, absorbing bumps while keeping him firmly connected to the road. The exhaust note was music, a rhythmic growl that matched the beat of his own adrenaline. Every straightaway was a chance to feel the engine come alive, to hear the mechanical symphony of the six-pack in full voice. Traffic lights were few, but he navigated them with a practiced hand, letting the big V8 breathe and roar. When the chance came, he shifted into second, then third, the acceleration brutal but controlled. It wasn't just speed, it was dominance, a declaration that the road was his, at least for these few fleeting moments. Around a gentle curve, he eased the car through, the wide tires sticking to the asphalt with uncanny confidence. The weight of the car, nearly 2 tons, never felt cumbersome. Instead, it was part of the dance, a balance between mass and muscle. Night was falling, and the glow of the dashboard illuminated his focused expression. Jake switched on the headlights, casting long beams ahead, and the Charger seemed to become a predator stalking the darkened asphalt. Every shift, every rev, every roar of the engine was an extension of him, a conversation without words. He felt connected not just to the machine, but to the history it carried, the era of American muscle, of raw power harnessed and refined into something tangible. Eventually, the highway gave way to an empty overlook, the city lights shimmering like a distant constellation. Jake brought the car to a stop, the engine idling low, the vibrations still humming through the floorboards. He leaned back in the seat and just listened. The six-pack wasn't just a car, it was an experience, a reminder of everything thrilling about the road. It demanded respect, but it also offered something rare, the pure, unfiltered joy of power in motion. As the night deepened, Jake sat there, hands still resting on the wheel, savoring the moment. The Dodge Charger six-pack wasn't just a ride, it was a statement. It was muscle, history, and adrenaline wrapped in steel and paint, and for anyone lucky enough to experience it, it was unforgettable.